As the new pump price takes effect, residents of Port Hacourt are now buying petrol for an average of 1,300 naira per litre. The increased price has also affected cost of public transportation, which has risen to more than 100% along many routes. Correspondent Uche Okoro reports.
Traffic is unusually light. Motorists have abandoned their vehicles and are trying to cut costs. Many petrol stations are closed as shortage in supply worsens. The queues at those stations dispensing fuel are becoming shorter than usual due to the price of premium motor spirit. For some people, it is another difficult day knowing that they now have to pay more for the essential commodity.
Just last week I bought for 970. For me to come today and it's 1,000 naira. Of course, it's affecting me and also affecting my business too. Because there's a limit to which, there's a limit to the amount I can, afford in fueling my car.
And just when you think you've made a good financial decision by parking your vehicle at home, the cost of public transportation brings you back to reality.
We, the commercial driver, we buy at the rate of 1,200 a litre. And the passenger, they are complaining. Most of them, since morning now, it's only one trip I've able to load because of the cost of fuel. It's affecting everything, affecting the passenger, affecting us also. We can't make up anything at the end of the day.
From 100 naira, now, sir, now here we are in hellfire. Hellfire in the sense that if now then do fire, put us inside. Now is 1,200, and transport now is 400 naira from Akbajo here to Slaughter. And to see passenger is problem because people are complaining about money.
It's not easy. Even as for now, as I'm coming from One now, me and one driver, we were dragging just because of 100 naira, just for him to help me. Because I was not able to afford what he asked me to afford. And I was begging him. He woke my clothes just because of 100 naira. It's not easy.
From business owners to motorists to commuters, the appeal is the same. For government to urgently come to their aid and address the price of petrol. Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Hacourt.
In Ondo State, the situation is the same as residents complain that the hike in price of petrol has resulted in the rising cost of food. Senior reporter Ayodeji Muradio has details.
Food prices in Nigeria have increased steadily since the beginning of the year. Ondo State, southwest Nigeria is not immune from these as prices of food have continued to soar. With the recent increase in the pump price of petrol, food prices may also go higher, and residents of Hacourt, the state capital, have begun to lament. A general market survey shows that a Congo of rice is sold between 2,007 and 3,000 naira depending on the quality. A Congo of beans is now sold between 3,003 and 5,500 naira, also depending on the type. Some residents of Hacourt are overwhelmed that the cost of putting food on the table is getting out of control.
So we're trying to survive. We're trying to survive. It's really difficult to survive. So I'm currently in the market and I went to buy something. I went to buy tomatoes. It's really small compared to what I used to buy. The onions is compared to what I used to buy is really small.
For now, a bag of rice was 80,000 naira, but immediately the increment, it jumped up to 85,000, 90,000, which is Nigerian rice. But foreign rice now is 95,000 naira.
My 33,000 at that time could purchase what I needed. Then, coming to this year, now that 33,000 cannot even get you, let's say, a whole meal for up to a week. Cannot purchase a meal that will take you up to a week.
Despite some residents embracing farming, they are worried about the rising cost of fuel, which they say will have effects on food items and other things.
Yes, there will still be more because as at last week, someone said he bought petrol at the rate of 990. Now it's 1,000 plus. So I think every day this is getting more expensive because what you bought in market yesterday, you can't expect to see it at the same rate today.
As residents of Hacourt continue to contend with the rising cost of food items. They are not sure if the cost will obey the law of gravity anytime soon. Ayodeji Moradeyo, TVC News.
Let's now take it to China, where President Bola Tinubu says the success of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation and the broader partnership emphasizes that global progress is not a zero-sum game. President Tinubu was speaking at the opening ceremony of the 2024 summit of FOCAC, where he also highlighted the significance of deepening economic cooperation and developing a comprehensive strategic partnership with China. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports.
At this summit, China seeks to entice African leaders with more investment opportunities in exchange for better access to raw materials that Africa has in abundance. Here in Beijing, leaders of African countries meet and discuss policies and areas of mutual cooperation with officials from China, Africa's biggest lender and investor. President Bola Tinubu, as leader of the biggest economy in Africa, has his eyes set on increasing foreign direct investments and also strengthening existing bilateral ties with China.
What began as a China support for African nations' independence has evolved into a rich, multifaceted partnership spanning trade, investment, and diplomacy. Over years of our ties, we have been solidified.
Nigeria, under President Tinubu's leadership, already has an advantage with the elevation of ties with the People's Republic of China to a strategic, comprehensive partnership. The Nigerian leader commended the role of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in advancing partnership for mutual development and prosperity.
We have been solidified. We share through high-level engagement, strategic agreement, and a shared vision of growth. China has consistently demonstrated its commitment to Africa, not only through financial and developmental support, but also through cultural exchanges that bring our people closer and closer together.
The bilateral relations between Nigeria and China were formally established in 1971, a decade after Nigeria gained its independence. Relations between the two countries have expanded to include bilateral trade and strategic cooperation, but the relationship has been lopsided, favoring China. This is what President Tinubu's new partnership with China seeks to balance. Femi Akonde, TVC News.